Welcome back, dear students of class 7. Today we are going to start with the part 5, part 5 of the chapter computer hardware components. Okay, students, in this part we are going to study about the output devices. Okay, in the output devices we'll talk about monitor, printer and projector, and then we will talk about some storage devices if we have time. If time permits, we'll talk about some storage device, hard disk, CD-ROM, DVD, Blu-ray disc and flash drive. So this is our agenda for today's lecture. So let's start with it. Now students, output devices. In the previous lecture, we talked about the input devices. Okay, so today let's talk about the output devices. What are output devices? The output devices are used to display or print the processed data in user readable form. Okay, so what are output devices? Output devices are those devices that display us the result. Okay, and what type of result? The in user readable form. Okay, in that form that the user can read it. Okay, now a computer can have several output devices connected or attached to it. Okay, but the common output devices are the monitor, the printer and your projector. Okay, so today we are going to talk about these three output devices: monitor, printer and projector. Okay, so you guys have already seen what a monitor looks like. Okay, this is how a monitor looks like. Okay, you have seen it plenty of times. Okay, so monitor is the most common output device. Okay, every computer, okay, has a monitor. Okay, even on a laptop, the screen is itself the monitor. Okay, now monitor is also called as visual display unit, or in short form VDU. So what is the full form of VDU, or another name of monitor is visual display unit? Okay, so very important. Now, this VDU or monitor is an electronic visual display for computers. So this is the display device or the monitor for our computers. Okay, just like a television, a monitor also displays output on the screen. So this part is the screen. Okay, this part in internal part, this is the screen of the monitor. Okay, it is just like your TV. Okay, now the pictures on a monitor is made up of thousands of small colored dots. Can you see this? Thousands and millions of small colored dots. Okay, these small dots, individual dots, are called as pixels. Okay, these small colored dots are called as pixels. Okay, now can you see this picture over here? It is also made up of these pixels. Okay, now the output displayed on a monitor is called as the soft copy. Okay, the output that is displayed on the monitor is called as soft copy. Whereas the output that comes out of a printer, okay, it is called as hard copy. What is it called? Hard copy. Okay, so very important definition. Okay, the output displayed on the monitor is called as soft copy. Okay, now the picture on the monitor is made up of thousands of pixels, small colored dots. Okay, thousands of small colored dots, which is called as pixels. So this is also very important definition. What are pixels? Okay, now there are three types of monitors that are commonly used. Okay, what are those three types of monitors? The cathode ray tube or the CRT monitors. Nowadays we don't use CRT monitors that much, but old computers, they used to use it. Still you may find in some cyber cafes or some schools, okay, or some places, even still they use the CRT monitors. Okay, then liquid crystal display or LCD monitors, which are also known as TFT or thin film transistor monitors. So these are the short forms that you need to know, students. Okay, now what is the full form of CRT? cathode ray tube. Okay. Then what is the full form of LCD? It is liquid crystal display. Or what is the full form of TFT? Thin film transistor. Okay. And then there are third type of monitors which are called as LED monitors, light emitting diode. LED stands for light emitting diode. So let me show you these monitors. Okay, so see, this is the CRT monitor. You don't need to know the internal working of this. You just need to know that there are three types of monitors, okay, that are commonly used. CRT stands for cathode ray tube monitors. So these monitors, can you see this monitor? This is a CRT monitor. Okay, you might have seen these type of monitors. These are old monitors that used to be used in the early 2000s. Okay, 2000s. Okay, then see, inside the CRT monitor, when you open this back panel of the CRT monitor, you will find that inside a CRT monitor something like this tube is there. This tube is only called as cathode ray tube. So this is an open CRT monitor. This tube over here, it's called the cathode ray tube. Now the working of cathode ray tube is right now not there in your syllabus. You might study them in the higher classes. Okay, so this is cathode ray tube monitors. This is how they look like. Okay, they were very big, they were heavy. Okay, also they consumed lot of electricity. Okay, now next type of monitors are the liquid crystal display or LCD and thin film transistor or TFT monitors. Now see, these are this is the LCD monitor and this is a LED monitor. Obviously, which one is looking good? This one. Okay, so this is the latest technology, LED. Okay, LED stands for light emitting diode monitors. Now these monitors are still used in many places. These are cheaper compared to the LED monitors. Okay, you just need to know this much, that LCD monitors are bit old, okay, than LED monitors are very effective and efficient. Okay, now LED monitors also consume very less electricity. Okay, their display quality is very good. Okay, you can look over here. So you just need to know the full forms of this liquid crystal display for LCD, or they are also known as thin film transistors, and then LED or light emitting diode monitors. So these are the three types of monitors that are mostly used. Okay, nowadays the latest technology is this. Okay, in this also there are various types of monitors, ULED, OLED and AMOLED, and different types of technologies have come in LED. Okay, so let's move on to the next type of output device, which is called as a printer. Okay, so you might have seen this is a printer. Okay, now a printer is a peripheral device. Okay, peripheral, I already told you, in the previous classes. I'll show you. Okay, now printer, you might have seen, is a device that is used to do what? It is used to connect to your computer, and then it gives you the output in your this on the paper. Yes or no? It prints on the paper. Such type of device is called as a printer. Okay, so what is a peripheral device? A printer is a peripheral device. Now what is the meaning of this peripheral? I already told you in the previous class, previous lecture, that peripheral devices are those devices that connect to the computer to add functionality to it, add new function. Okay, to add new functions to the computer. For example, if we connect our computer with a printer, so this printer will add the capacity or the functionality of printing things on a paper to our computer. So printer is a device that accepts text and graphic output from the computer and prints the information on the piece of paper. Okay, so this device is a printer. Okay, now students, a printer is connected to your computer using the USB port. Now we have already studied different types of ports on a computer. Okay, now a printer can also be connected to the computer via the Wi-Fi port. okay, or the Wi-Fi connection. Okay, you people nowadays use Wi-Fi, na? Okay, so printers come in different sizes, their speed differs, and so do their cost. A fast printer may cost you more. Okay, now there are main types of printers: impact printers and non-impact printers. Okay, let's talk about impact and non-impact printers. So what are impact printers, students? Impact printers allow physical contact between the printer head and the paper. So see, can you see this? This is an example of a, you know, impact printer. Now see these pins over here. Can you see these pins? These are called as the printer head or print heads. See, it's written over here, print head. So these are the print head, and this is the piece of paper. Okay, now what is happening if this is printing, and this print heads are moving in this direction, they are moving in this direction, and these print heads contain ink on them. Okay, they contain ink on them, and they are, these print heads, they come in contact with the paper. Okay, so impact printers allow the physical contact between the printer head and the paper. These printers print by the impact of the printer head on the paper. So these printer heads, they create an impact according to the, you know, output that is shown on the given to the printer. Okay, so they are also called as character printers. Which printers are also called as character printers? The impact printers are also called as the character printers. Okay, now there are there are many types of impact printers, but the two examples that you need to study is the daisy wheel printer. So this is a daisy wheel printer. See, it looks like a typewriter only. Okay, and this is the daisy wheel. Okay, this daisy wheel contains this 96 characters on it. Okay, so when you press the button, one of the, you know, this heads from the daisy wheel makes an impression on the page. Okay, because this looks like a, you know, daisy flower, that's why it's named daisy wheel printer. Okay, then there are dot matrix printers. So these are this is how a dot matrix printer looks like. You might have seen the railway tickets that get printed on the railway stations. Okay, they use the dot matrix printer. Okay, so dot matrix and daisy wheel printers are the examples of impact printers. You don't need to study working of these printers. Okay, you just need to know the examples and what kind of printer it is. Okay, then second type of printers are called as the non-impact printers. Okay, the non-impact printers do not allow the physical contact between the printing head and the paper. So the non-impact printer, what they do, they do not allow the contact of printing head and paper. Okay, that is, they do not strike against the ink ribbon or the paper on which it is being printed. Okay, so they do not allow the printing head to touch the paper. Okay, now only the ink used for printing, the ink touches the paper. Okay, non-impact printers have a better print quality than the impact printers. Okay, so there are three examples of non-impact printers. Thermal printers. See, this is how thermal printers look. Okay, thermal printers use a special type of paper on which wax, you know, it's called as the wax paper. Okay, so this paper is used, this special type of paper is used on the thermal printers. And thermal means, when you hear of this word thermal is related to heat. So these type of printers use heat on this paper to print. Okay, barcodes and different things are printed on thermal printers only. Okay, then you have inkjet printers. Okay, now inkjet printers are very commonly used in your homes. Okay, these are small printers that comes very cheap. Okay, they are very cheap printers. Okay, uh, and they are used probably in homes and small offices. Okay, then the third type of printer is the laser printer. Okay, so this type of printer uses the laser to print on the paper. Okay, these are very expensive, but their quality of printing is better than both of this. Okay, so there are, you need to only know what does an non-impact printer do. The non-impact printer does not allow the contact between the printing head and the paper. Only the ink that is used for printing that touches the paper. Okay, and there are three types of non-impact printers: thermal printers, inkjet, and laser printers. This is what you need to know. Okay, the next type of output device is the projector. Okay, now a projector, students, this is a projector. Okay, you might have seen this in your school also and different places. It's a very versatile device. It is used for showing a big screen to you. So a projector is an output device that takes the images generated by a computer. Okay, it is connected to the computer. Okay, to through the VGA port that you studied, or it can be connected to a HDMI port. Both of these port, VGA and HDMI port, you have studied earlier. Okay, so this can be connected to either VGA port or your HDMI port of the computer. And what it takes the images generated by the computer and displays them on a big screen or a wall or any flat surface. Okay, so you might have seen this, seen me using this. Okay, last year when I taught you, I used projectors to teach you. Okay, in the school. Okay, so a projector is commonly used in a school classroom for teaching. So I used to use this type of projectors to teach you. Yes, then it is also used in meeting in an office to project the presentation. So look at this. Okay, someone is presenting this presentation and this is the projector. The light from the projector is falling on this wall. Okay, then projectors are also used in movie theaters or cinema theaters. See, this person is standing over here and there's a projector. Okay, and this projector is projecting the movie on the big screen. Okay, so it is also used in cinema theaters for projecting movies. Okay, so this finishes the output type of devices. The next type of uh, devices that we are going to study is storage devices. Storage devices are going to store something. What are they going to store? Let's talk about storage devices. Store information or data. Okay, till when do they store information? Until it is deleted or overwritten by the user. Okay, now deleted, you understand the meaning of deleted. What is the meaning of overwritten? Overwritten means what? Suppose this is a storage device. Okay, now if you store something on this device, suppose this was an empty device earlier. Okay, empty. Suppose you are storing a photo. Suppose you are storing a photo on this device. Okay, now what you are going now, if you store this photo, okay, now if you use this device to see this photo, then means you are reading the data. What are you doing? You are reading the data that is present on this storage device. But if there is this photo on the storage device, and suppose you change or modify this data, okay, which is stored. Okay, if you change this data, or instead of this data you delete this data or you remove this data and you add another data instead of this data on this device, okay, then it is called as being overwritten. Then the data or the information is overwritten on that storage device. Okay, so changing the data, or putting new data on your device, okay, time and again, okay, keeping on changing your data is called as being overwritten. Okay, or this process is called as writing of data. Okay, I hope you understood these two words, read and write. Okay, now the commonly used storage devices are hard disk, CD-ROM, DVD, Blu-ray disc, and flash drive. So in storage devices, we are going to study about these different storage devices. So first, let's talk about the hard disk. What is an hard disk? Look at this figure. This is a hard disk. Okay, This is a hard disk drive. Okay, a hard disk drive is a magnetic storage device. Magnetic storage device means what? This device, inside this device there are magnets are also used to store the data. Okay, it is a magnetic storage device used to store the data and retrieve. Now what is the meaning of this word retrieve? Retrieve means to get or access your data. See, if you store something somewhere, okay, you why do you store something? So that later on you can use it or you can get it from where you have stored it. Yes or no? So if you store data on your hard disk, you can later get or access that data or use that data. This is called as retrieving the data. Okay, so a hard disk is a magnetic storage device. Sorry, a hard disk is a magnetic storage device used to store and retrieve the data. Okay, very important. What is hard disk? Hard disk is a magnetic storage device used to store and retrieve the data. What is the meaning of retrieve? To access, okay, or to get the data that was stored. Okay, use that data is called as retrieving the data. Okay, it is generally embedded within the disk itself. Okay, generally it is in this hard disk is inside our uh, CPU cabinet only. It is fitted to and then it is connected to the motherboard. Okay, or housed in a separate box external to the computer. So we can find this type of hard drives also, and then there are some external hard drives also. Okay, which are like which behave like pen drives only. Okay, but a big pen drive. Then hard disk is made up of collection of disks known as platters. So you can see this golden part over here. See, there are many disks on this. Okay, this singular circular thing, okay, disk, it's not a single, it's one below the another. Okay, it is made up of collection of disks known as platters. So each of this disk is known as a platter. Okay, see, this is the platter. Platters or disks. See, it's written over here, platters, stack of magnetic platters or disks. Stack means what? Kept one below the other. Like you stack up your books now, one below the other, one above the other. Okay, so that is called as stacking. You stack up playing cards also. Okay, so in the same manner, different disks, look over here, different disks are stacked over one over the other, and each disk is called as a platter. Okay, then they are stacked on top of each other. Okay, then each platter consists of two read write heads. So see, on this platter there is this head. This, see, when we they have zoom this over here. See, there are two heads, one is for reading, one is for writing. See, this head and this head, these two heads are there for reading and writing. One is for reading. Now the meaning of read means what? Whatever data is stored, just looking at that data is called as reading. Okay, or using that data. But if you change or modify that data, then it is called as a writing. So these two heads over here, see, this is the this is the magnified portion of this. Okay, so see, this read write head, there are two heads, one is for reading, one is for writing, are both kept on the platters. Okay, so each platter consists of two read write heads on both sides for reading the stored data. So this each platter, each circular disk contains two heads each. Okay, one for reading, one for writing, and on the both the sides. Okay, for reading and writing the data. Now all the read write heads are attached to a single access arm. So can you see this? This is the read write arm. Okay, and all the heads are connected to this read write arm. Okay, okay, all the read write heads are attached to a single access arm so that they do not move independently. So all the read write heads that are on all these platters or disks are connected to this single arm. Okay, see, this is the read write arm over here. This is the magnified version of this read write arm. See, it's coming over here. and this is the magnified version. Okay, each platter has same number of tracks to store the data. Now what are tracks? See, these are the tracks. See, this is a platter. See, these, there are three platters over here shown: platter 1, platter 2, platter 3. Yes, they are stacked one over the one above the each other. Okay, now see, each platter has two read write heads. See, okay, can you see this? Okay, now what are tracks? See this yellow colored portions on each platter, this is called as tracks. See, so this, okay, so each disk has a each platter has tracks. Okay, sorry. So what are tracks, students? Tracks, okay, each platter has same number of tracks. So this yellow colored part, see this yellow colored part, and also inside this yellow colored part, see, can you see this circular tracks over here like this? Okay, so these tracks, okay, are used to store the data. This is the place where the data or the information is stored. Okay, now a track location that cuts across all platters is called as a cylinder. So see, suppose this is a track, this is another track on another platter, this is another track on another platter. Okay, and see this particular cylinder, okay, cylindrical thing is, cutting through all these platters, okay, at the same position on each platter. This is called as a cylinder. Okay, a hard disk is also known as Winchester disk. Okay, this is very important. What is another name for hard disk? It is Winchester disk. Okay, Winchester. So hard disk is also known as the Winchester disk. Okay, this name comes from an early type of disk drive that was developed by IBM in the year 1973. So IBM developed a hard disk in the year 1973 and named this disk as Winchester disk. IBM is a company. Okay, so they named it as Winchester disk. So you can call hard disk as Winchester disk also. So what is the important thing to take from this part is that what is a hard disk? A hard disk is a magnetic storage device. That means inside this magnets are used, okay, to store and retrieve the data. Okay, device which is used to store and retrieve the data. Okay, and the next thing, it consists of circular disks which are known as platters. Okay, each platter consists of read write heads. Okay, see, read write heads. Okay, each platter consists of two heads which are read write heads. And next thing that you need to know is that it is also known as the Winchester disk. This much is in there in your syllabus. Okay, students. Now next, the next type of storage device is the CD-ROM. Okay, a CD-ROM. What is the full form of a CD-ROM? The full form of CD is compact disk read only memory. What is the full form of CD-ROM? Compact disk read only memory. You need to memorize these abbreviations or full forms. Okay, abbreviations and full forms. Okay, read only means, now see, what is the meaning of read? I already explained to you. Read only means you cannot change the pre-recorded information from the information stored on the disk. So if some information is stored on this disk and if it is only readable, see, CD-R is written. CD-R means compact disk which is readable. Okay, so you cannot change the data that is present on this disk. Whatever data is, you can only read it. You cannot write it or change the data. Okay, or record new data on this disk. Once this disk is written, once you write the data, then after that you can only read this type of disk. So what is the meaning of CD read? Read means you cannot change the pre-recorded information stored on the disk. Okay, now It is a type of optical disc. Optical disc means what? Optical means it uses light to store data, okay, or lasers to store data, okay. Disc means a circular thing is called a disc, okay. So a disc which uses light for storing data is called as optical disc. It is capable of storing large amount of data. A CD-ROM is capable of storing large amount of data, information, software, etc. Okay. Today most softwares like audio, video, graphics, multimedia presentations are found on a CD. For example, see, this is an audio CD. This audio CD contains the entire English time student book. If you insert this CD inside your computer, then you can hear the audio information which is present inside this book, but you cannot change what is present inside this. You cannot change the data, okay. Then the data from CD is accessed or retrieved using the CD drive. So see this drive, okay, this drive is called as the CD drive, okay. You press the button on the CD drive, see, this is the button that you press, okay, and then this comes out, you insert the CD inside the drive, and then you close this, okay, and then it starts running, and then you can access or use the data or read the data from the CD, okay. So what is this device called? CD drive, okay. The storage capacity of a CD-ROM CD varies from 650 megabytes or MB to 900 MB. For example, look at this CD. What is the capacity? What is the maximum amount of data can be inserted? That can be inserted inside this CD or written inside this CD is 700 megabytes. Okay, so you can also get CDs worth of 900 megabyte storage capacity. Okay, but that will be bit expensive. Okay, the speed of a CD-ROM drive, that means the speed of this ROM for reading the data is called data transfer rate, and it is measured in kilobytes per second. So speed of this CD-ROM is measured in kilobytes per second, okay, and it is called data transfer rate, okay. Now there are two types of CD-ROMs, okay. CDR means what? Compact disc recordable. Recordable means what? You can only read the data once you have recorded the data, okay. Once you can record the data, and after that you can only read it. Then there is second type of CD-ROM which is called as CD-RW. RW means compact disc rewritable. Rewritable means what? You take the CD, you record it or put some data on this, okay. Now after some time, if you want, now you can change the data also. So that type of CD is called as rewritable CD, okay. Rewritable CD means what? Again and again you can change the data, okay. Next, DVD. What is DVD? The next type of storage device is called as the DVD. The full form of DVD is digital versatile disc. Digital versatile disc, okay. DVD was invented in the year 1995, and then it became very popular storage device, okay. Initially it was called digital video disc. First it was called as digital video disc. So see, this is how a DVD looks like, just like a CD. It looks just like a CD, okay, but it is better than CD, okay. Then this, first it was called digital video disc, then it was changed to digital versatile disc, okay. Now DVDs are again optical discs. Optical discs means what? Those discs that use light to store data and read the data, okay, with much larger storage capacity as compared to a CD, okay. So what is the advantage of DVD? That it has much larger storage capacity than a CD. Just now we studied that the capacity of storage of a CD is from 650 megabytes to 900 megabytes, right? But the capacity of a DVD is much more. We'll learn how much more, okay. DVD can store high quality video. Okay, it can store high quality video files, audio files, and other kind of digital information. You can store your big softwares also on a DVD. Games can also be stored on a DVD. DVDs are available in single and double sided versions. Okay, so there are dual layer DVDs, okay, which can store double information than a single layer DVD. Okay, now a DVD can store 6 times more than a CD. 6 times more than a CD. Now you know CD can store from 650 megabyte to 900 MB. Okay, but a DVD can store 6 times more than this. Okay, 6 times more than this. The data transmission rate of DVD is also much faster than that of CD, which is 15 times faster. The data transfer rate is 15 times faster, and the data storage capacity is 6 times more. Okay, so you need to remember this. Okay, how much data can a DVD hold? It can store a data of almost, the minimum data that it can store is 4.7 GB. So look at this DVD. This DVD can store how much data? 4.7 GB or gigabyte. Okay, and there are DVDs which can also store 17 GB of data. Now these are the dual layer DVDs. Okay, dual layer DVDs can store how much data? 17 GB data also. Okay, so DVDs can store much more data than a CD. Like a CD-ROM, okay, DVD is available in many versions. Okay, CD was available in two versions, CD-R and CD-RW. Okay, in the same manner, DVD is also available in many versions. DVD-R. DVD-R means digital versatile disk recordable. That means you can only read the data that is recorded in this type of DVD. Then DVD-RW, that means digital versatile disk rewritable. That means you can read the data and also you can write the data. Okay, inside this DVD-RW. And then there are DVD plus R and DVD plus RW. Now the only difference between DVD R and DVD plus R, or DVD RW and DVD plus RW, is that between the formats, okay, the only difference between the formats is that the way they determine the location of laser beam on the disk. Now this is not in your syllabus, okay, but the way they determine the data that is present on the DVD, that is only, the technology is different. Okay, this uses different technology, this uses different technology, this uses different technology, this uses different technology. Otherwise all the things are same. Okay, so this is not there in your syllabus. Okay, this difference, but because you many a times you may ask me as a doubt, what is difference between DVD-R and DVD plus R, that's why I've told you. The only difference is that the way they determine the location of the laser beam on the disk. So it uses laser is a type of light, yes or no? So it uses light to read and write the data. So the way in which it determines the location of the laser beam, that is the only difference between DVD-R and DVD-R plus R, and DVD-RW and DVD-R plus R. So you don't need to know this. Okay, let's talk about the next type of storage device, that is called as the Blu-ray disc. Okay, so this is a Blu-ray disc. Okay, so Blu-ray disc is even better than DVDs. Okay, Blu-ray disc is a new optical disc format that is rapidly replacing DVD. Okay, so nowadays DVDs are replaced by the Blu-ray discs. We will come to know in a short time why. Okay, the name Blu-ray disc, now why these discs are called Blu-ray disc, is derived from the blue violet laser which is used to read and write this type of disc. So this type of discs, okay, can only be read with the help of this laser. Can you see this laser device which is sending this blue violet laser over here? Okay, So this is where this name has come from, Blu-ray disc, because of the color of this laser light, which this laser light is going to read and write your data on this disk. Okay, this is where this name has come from. Okay, the disc, the Blu-ray disc has the same dimension. That means the size of Blu-ray disc and CD and DVD is same. Okay, but Blu-ray disc can hold up to 25 GB of data on single layer and 50 GB of data on dual layer. Now you saw that a CD can store data 650 megabyte to 900 megabyte. Then we saw that a DVD can hold 4.7 GB to a maximum of 17 GB. But Blu-ray can store 25 GB to 50 GB, which is much higher than DVD. That's why Blu-ray is better in terms of storage capacity than your DVD or CD. Okay, so this is how this is a 25 gigabyte Blu-ray disc, and this is a dual layer 50 GB Blu-ray disc. Okay, so let's talk about the next and the last type of storage device, which is called as the flash drive. You might know this with the other name, which is called as pen drive or thumb drive also. Thumb drive. So flash drive, pen drive, thumb drive, okay, you can call it anything. Okay, so what is this? Is your pen drive. You are very familiar with the pen drive. Okay, what is flash drive or pen drive? It is it is very small, yes or no? You can easily hold this in your hand. Okay, portable means what? You can easily carry it from one place to another. Okay, portable flash memories memory data storage device, mainly used to transfer audio, video and data files from hard drive of one computer to another. So mainly this is used to transfer files from one computer to another. Okay, then it is removable means what? You can insert it in your computer and then copy the data and then remove it. Okay, and it is also rewritable. You already know the meaning of rewritable. That means if some data is already present in this pen drive, then you can change the data. Okay, that is called as rewritable. So it is removable and rewritable also. Okay, it is plugged into the computer's USB port. Sorry, so you have studied USB port. See, this is the computer's USB port, so it is plugged. So see, this is plugging this pen drive or flash drive into this USB port. Okay, now inside the pen drive contains the pen drive or the flash drive consists of a small PCB. Now PCB means what? Printed circuit board. See this green colored board. This green colored board is called as the printed circuit board. Now this printed circuit board also contains the circuit elements and a USB connector. So this is the USB connector and this green colored part is the printed circuit board. Okay, or the PCB. Okay, and see there are different components on this PCB. Okay, now on top of this, what they do, they use a plastic cover to protect it, or they can also use a metal cover or a rubberized case on top of this. Okay, so this is how the pen drive looks from the inside. Okay, it is protected with the help of a plastic or a metal or a rubber cover. Okay, so what is the full form of PCB? Oh, sorry. What is the full form of PCB? The full form of PCB is printed circuit board. Next, flash drive or flash drive is also called as pen drive. okay, or thumb drive. So we have already discussed this, and it is available with a storage capacity of up to 1 TB. Now generally you use 4 GB or 32 GB or 16 GB or 8 GB pen drives, right? Or you can also get 64 GB and so on, okay? But you can also get pen drives up to 1 terabyte. TB means terabyte, okay? And in the future it is planned to have a capacity of 2 terabytes. Okay students, with this we finish this lecture, okay? And also I have completed the explanation of this particular chapter is over now, okay? In the next part we will do some activity. I'll give you some activity, okay? That is in your lab session, okay? I'll show you how to do it, and then we'll also do the exercises, okay? And we will then I will uh, also send you some question answers, okay? Question answers, okay? So till then, you people take care of yourself and be well. Thank you.